Yo, what's good? Big Z here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to remake one of my favorite bass sounds from 2020. It's the bass from Turn Back Time by Diplo and Sonny Fedora. Real quick though, just to thank you guys for watching my videos and supporting me, I want to give you 50% off my Serum sample pack and my drum sample pack, which are up on my website, bigzsounds.com. Just type in the code Yo What's Good at checkout and you'll get 50% off. You can use that code for the next 2 weeks, so anyone that's on a tight budget, this is definitely the biggest deal I'm ever going to offer. Now let's get to this bass sound. There's something about the character of this bass that I love so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off every effect, external and internal, that I have on here and just go through them and show you what they add. So first of all, we're starting with an FM freak wavetable. Notice the shape of envelope 1 down here. It's controlling the cutoff of the filter, so it makes it a really plucky bass. And then we have mono check down here so the notes don't bleed into each other. And I'm just going to add the effects one by one. So if we go back to the oscillator tab, you can change the sound a good amount by messing around with the wavetable position. And also something I've been doing lately to make things sound a little bit more analog and less digital is use LFO1 here, and I just go into one of these presets down here. I think it's called A Bit Crazy. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I'll just turn the rate down a little bit and map it to the fine tune of an oscillator, and then I'll have it moving a couple of cents back and forth just to change the pitch slightly, but not enough so you notice it, just to give it more of that analog feeling. Then to go through the effects here, we've got some dimension expander, which I'm not using, but it's attached to this macro, so I can increase the width if I want throughout a track. We've got some multiband compression on there. Really important to have bass sounds heavily compressed, I think. Then we've got this sine shaper distortion, which I think sounds really cool. Then the low pass filter is on there, being modulated by envelope 1 here, and we've got some resonance on there, which is important. Then I've got this EQ on there, reducing the frequencies around 1000 and 2000 hertz. Just makes it sound a lot deeper. There's kind of an annoying click on there when that EQ is not on. Now let's get to the external effects, which are also pretty important in my opinion. So first up, we have this R bass, and I'll show you what it's doing by opening up the EQ after it. Notice I'm using the frequencies around 240 hertz. That's what I'm increasing with this R bass plugin. It really hones on a certain frequency band and just increases the frequencies in that range. But it does so in a way that sounds a little bit different than if I were to just take an EQ and boost around 240 on this EQ. So you see without it on, just notice this frequency range around here. So you'll really just notice it's adding a lot of life to this frequency range, which really helps the bass come through on like phone speakers and laptop speakers and things like that. So after the R bass, I have this EQ on there, and I'm just reducing some sub frequencies and some frequencies around like 418 hertz. And then I have FabFilter Saturn on there, just using some saturation in a narrow band from like 800 to 2000 hertz. And this just helps the high-end harmonics come through. And then we've got some very subtle reverb on there just to kind of put it in a space. So here's the reverb I used for that. I think it's just a clear chamber setting, from right here. I might have tweaked a couple things, but it's pretty much just that reverb setting. And because it's a clicky sounding bass before the reverb in this bus, I have this transient designer plugin from Waves, and you'll notice it's taking out the transients before it's going into the reverb. So I just turned the reverb up so you could hear it better, but watch what happens when I turn off this transient shaper plugin. It sounds really bad because you can hear that attack and pluck in the reverb, which you don't want. Then I'm EQing the reverb afterwards. Usually for an EQ after a reverb, I would go up here more, but since it's a bass sound, I really wanted the lower frequencies to come through on the reverb too, so I moved it back down. Anyway, if you want this bass sound and all the drum samples I used in this project, you can download those for free below. Like I said earlier, you can get 50% off my Serum preset pack and my drum sample pack on bigzsounds.com using the promo code YOWHAT'SGOOD. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.